Well, if you're just joining us, you've missed Rafa going on a tear versus Wenger. But don't fear if you're a fan of Maestro, as there is more to come. We've got to touch on the big man himself first, the cheater, a legend. He's got his name on the belt. I'm, of course, talking about K1llsen. No, I've done it the wrong way around, my bad. It's all gone wrong. The setup was there, but it was ruined. However, this man is hoping to ruin K1llsen. It's Raisy. He's out on stage, looking to pop off. Facing off versus K1llsen here in our second best-of-5 semi-final. And it should be a fantastic match. There he is, eyeing up the camera, proving that he's got his eyes set on the prize, that big belt in the middle there. Damn, two incredible players. K1llsen, obviously the only person that's currently left in the tournament with his name in the belt. Raisy, the last man that was mere steps away from getting his name etched into it. Does he have the chance this time around? Do you think there's enough fuel left in his tank to propel him towards the grand final?
Yeah, 100%. I think as Rafa said before on the stage, Raisy and K1llsen, to be fair, are playing their best Quake. And out of everything we've seen today, Raisy's performances, including yesterday to be fact, have been the most convincing. I don't think we've seen the best of K1llsen just yet. And if we look back at previous history, yes, K1llsen has the upper edge when it comes to Raisy online, but on LAN, I generally see a better Raisy than I've seen a better K1llsen. Even though, at least in this head-to-head matchup, should I say.
Raisy also has a really good track record when it comes to taking down gods, as he is the one who managed to beat Rafa quite some time ago already, but he came down from the lower bracket, so he had to reset it and then take down Rafa in 2 best-of-3s, and he managed to do it, earning himself the title of the God Slayer. So this man, he's got a playstyle very reactionary and very capable of taking on players like Rafa.
Oh yeah. Well, let's delve straight into the stats for this one. We do have the picks and bans, so we can open up that veto and see what maps we're going to be facing off on.
We've got a clutch coming out from Raisy. What I will say is that he just picked it straight up on Awoken. That's rather interesting. I can see it working out magnificently, but also it is because of the very constrained nature of the map, you're quite vulnerable without your shield up. You can be chased down quite quickly, particularly against a Doomslayer. So that's going to be chaos, I have to say.
Yeah, this definitely isn't the map that you want to play clutch on the most, but nevertheless, you know, Raisy, he loves his clutch, one of his favorite and most well-known champions. So I think that the moment he saw that he had the opportunity to play the robot, he was like, you know what, no matter the map, I'm gonna take it.
100%. Then we move on to Corrupted Keep, Raisy's Keep. He was magnificent against Avec, but K1llsen's the person who's picked it, so he has a game plan, and Raisy pulls out the Strog, which is quite unusual. We don't see a lot of that from Raisy. And K1llsen is the counter, which is obviously pretty traditional on Corrupted Keep.
Yeah, and then the third map will be Blood Run, where we're going to see Nyx come out, going up against Ranger. That's a pretty traditional matchup for this map. I feel like Nyx, of course, got a lot of mobility, a lot of easy jumps she can make around that middle section of the map. But Ranger, of course, he's got the vertical mobility. He's got the orb, can shoot it straight up, can get onto that heavy instantly, even from the very start of the game. So definitely not an easy matchup for either player.
No, multiples we have Slash against Athena. Very unusual picks from both players.
Yep.
I mean, that's not the traditional map you pick either one of these champions on, so I'm really interested to see what game plan they have. It's going to be rather interesting because it could go a number of ways, and I hope we see the pace coming out from Raisy. I haven't seen K1llsen on Athena an awful lot, but I think he did pick it earlier in the day, so again, once again, clearly been practicing it. And ending up on Ruins. Sorlag, which used to be Raisy's go-to champion back in the day, against a Scalebearer.
The Scalebearer is a bit unusual, right? I feel like that is a very strange pick. Not a champion that K1llsen often uses. He's really not the kind of player to go with the heavy champions all that often, right?
No, not at all. I don't think I've ever seen K1llsen pick a Scalebearer in my muscle memory. And Ruins is a really interesting pick for it on because you are quite exposed. At least with the sword, like you have the speed, you can use the air control. Yes, you can pick up the pace with Scalebearer, but I think you're a little bit more susceptible to the rushes of Raisy. Right. I think that's one of the areas we might see Raisy capitalizing on is K1llsen does struggle with people that can put aggression onto him and that can surpass his mechanical skill. And that's what I believe Raisy will be trying to impress upon his opponent, is that mid-range fight, using his lightning gun and moving into rockets as well.
Well, talking about aggression, let's start off with the first map. Obviously, on Awoken, you've got the Doom and you've got the Clutch. Both of these champions probably going to work very well. K1llsen, we know how effective he can be on Doom, especially with that passive. He's going to be mobile. It will set him up to have complete control in the middle of the map. But you've got Raisy on Clutch. Surely that in itself should strike fear.
I mean, I genuinely don't know what to expect. I've never seen Clutch played on that map in a competitive setting. And it's, as we said before, it's it's terrifying, but it's also very vulnerable.
Yeah.
Because you can be chased down by the Doom better than anyone else very easily. Without your shield, you're so susceptible to damage. And if K1llsen can keep the pressure onto Raisy and keep chipping away at that stack, Raisy's going to find it very hard.
A big part will be hourglass control,
yes.
right? Because Clutch is heavily reliant on his shield because he's such an easy target without it. And Awoken just really isn't a map where you've got that many hourglasses, nor do you have these really clean routes that you can take on a lot of the other maps.
Saying that, if Raisy can get a good start and a good lead, that's when the pressure can come on, right? Because he can just as easily chase down K1llsen. He doesn't have the true double jump, but the dash ability means he can fly through that mid ground, control the center, and then K1llsen's going to be in a lot of trouble because he can't get away as well.
Okay, well, very quickly before we jump into this one, as it's about to kick off, scoreline prediction, Dan?
3-1 Raisy.
Lee?
3-2 Raisy.
All right, well, it looks like there's a lot of Maestro madness going on in this building. Let's see who is going to walk away as the victor. Raisy takes on K1llsen here. It's a best of 5. It should be an incredible affair. We start it on Awoken.
Yeah, right off the bat, very interesting matchup as we just mentioned. We are going to start things off, I believe, if the sounds are right, the Raisy starting things off with the robot, immediately rushing down to the Mega, and you can tell, look at the speed, just instantly ignoring the LG, and wow.
Wow, there you go.
Yeah, that's what you were talking about.
I mean, undoubtedly he's practiced it time and time again, but he has the same ability to use the double jump with the dash as the Doom, so he can control that mid ground pretty well. And as we spoke about when Raisy picked this yesterday, he knows better than anyone else the susceptibility of Clutch to that external damage from different angles and different ranges. He will play it very carefully, very closely, but when the pressure is right and when the time is right, we will see him pick up that tempo.
And you also know that is not easy to do, right? Very few players are as prevalent on the map with the Clutch as Raisy is. He's such a skilled player with that move, and it's taken him hundreds of hours of practice, no doubt.
But as easy as it is for us to say that, the pressure is on K1llsen to make sure he can get that damage done, because if he doesn't, he's in so much trouble. If Raisy pushes in with that shield up, K1llsen's going to die every single time. Raisy has a little trap here.
I love these little places that
He's the only guy that does it as well.
Yeah, and we saw it earlier as well on Corrupted Keep, right? When he just set up in that nail gun room. He's just such a wonderful player. And you can envision Raisy just going into these maps by himself in custom games and just hopping around and trying to figure out these little places, looking for all these tricks that he can use to make the most out of his game.
We can already see the game plan from Raisy, not willing to go out into these vulnerable areas, so playing these corridors, because if K1llsen decides to move around one of these corners, Raisy's got a shield, Raisy's got a stack, K1llsen will die. But again, once again, K1llsen not falling for that, so playing very carefully, sticking to the open ground. They're both understanding the dynamics of this match, but Raisy has the chance to move in. K1llsen does get away and will be safe, but he does take an awful lot of damage. Raisy's going to try and follow up, but you can see how painful it is to try and move through these tight corridors with such a big unit.
Yeah, and
clipping.
You can tell that K1llsen, he took too much damage in that engagement to try and capitalize on the lack of shield. What? Raisy, these jumps, man.
So quick across the map.
He used the nail gun, right? He used the nail gun to get that extra little bit of air and verticality that he needed.
Oh no!
Is even going to take the gauntlet. My God, Raisy. He could have done it with the shotgun, absolutely, but he said, no, I am going to make a statement. And a statement he made.
You can see K1llsen moving in, maybe slightly frustrated, but not hitting anywhere near enough rockets. And this is the problem, what I said to you guys before, is if Raisy gets this good start and he gets a stack advantage, he's still got the shield. Like, he can just push through this corridor if he sees K1llsen now, with the shield up if he wants to, and he does that exact thing. K1llsen might steal it away, and he doesn't even do that.
Yeah, that would have at least been the silver lining of that engagement, being able to deny the heavy to Raisy, because then, in that case, K1llsen probably would have been able to just rush in, right? Because he knows Raisy probably can't position himself on Mega the same way.
Well, K1llsen's already tried to change game tact, because what they've done at the start, Raisy's being far, far superior in the range game. He's out-railing K1llsen. So what Raisy's doing is holding that range, trying to out-rail his opponent. When he's weak, then he's pushing in. But as you can see, K1llsen's change of tact is, I need to get into these in-game fights. I need to make sure the Clutch is in my my mid-range with the lightning gun. That's where I can do the most amount of damage. So yes, he might throw away a few frags, but he's going to do an incredible amount of damage because K1llsen's aim is also on point.
Yeah. And of course, Clutch is a huge target, so that helps a lot when you're using the LG. Here we go, Raisy drop down in a bad position. Can he land the final rail? He cannot, and that will be K1llsen putting another frag on the board in his favor. Slowly starting to make this comeback a reality.
This is the challenge, right? Yes, that's an effective game plan, but as we spoke about when Raisy picked Clutch yesterday, he's also going to put out an immense amount of damage. So every time K1llsen pushes in for one of these kills, even if he gets the kill, the chances are he's also going to be very, very low, because taking a mano-a-mano fight against Raisy is never a good sign. So Raisy, at this point in time, in terms of strategy, it feels like he has the upper hand, whichever way you look at it.
Yeah, very true. He's also got the better stack by far. Misses the rail, though. This could be bad for Raisy. K1llsen absolutely managing to get himself back into control. Yeah.
There you go.
Right back up.
Well, that was almost overconfidence. Raisy pushing in up a jump pad without the shield and missing a rail. As soon as that happened, he was in a lot of trouble. It's just giving K1llsen a bit of an in, but he has to pop the shield here. He will get the mega health, but he'd probably take another rail. If he doesn't, that's very good for Raisy.
Oh,
so missing that rail means he's going to definitely die.
Yeah, K1llsen caught in a really bad position. Shouldn't have been there at all. You can tell what he tried to do.
Oh no, a full rocket.
Exactly. And another one in return. Both of these players are just doing obscene amounts of damage. Neither really able to establish consistent control over lengthy amount of time.
This is the first time I think K1llsen's got a clean frag. Let's see what he can make do with it. One rail. Raisy, be smart. He needs to get away, but he just wants to make sure that K1llsen can't stack up. That's quite smart, because Raisy realizes that A, the mega health is up, and B, he's got enough stacks to survive at least one more rail and get it because of the Clutch natural stack.
Right.
So going into that mid-range fight is even if K1llsen hits the rail, Raisy will do a similar amount of return damage. So it's again a good understanding of situational awareness of what his capabilities are.
Raisy should go down here. Even the shield cannot protect him from those direct rockets when your health is that low. K1llsen, I don't think he had timing, but he definitely heard the mega spawn behind him. Isn't gonna take any risks and immediately collects the major item. But look at that, Raisy already has a more substantial stack than his opponent without having to even pick up any major items at all. K1llsen, though, getting himself in position. That's a decent amount of damage. He needs a lot more, though. Raisy, I think he's railable.
Oh, what a shot!
Beautiful flick. Raisy can't even get through a teleporter anymore. K1llsen reads the spawn, forces it exactly the way he likes it. But he needs to do more than that.
Oh, good swaps. This is, you see, the speed of the Clutch. As soon as K1llsen missed that one rail, Raisy committed. He committed 5 seconds before he even got in, essentially.
That's one of the things that Rafa said earlier, is that Wenger wasn't ready for that quick decision making. Raisy's decisions are just as quick. And the moment he feels like he's got even the slightest opportunity that will work out in his favor, he will take it. Absolutely no fear, no hesitation, and he just jumps on his opponent.
Has steadied down now. We've still got plenty of time for both players here. He's changed tact numerous times. And now he's back to that railing, but with control of the mid-ground, Raisy's just going to try and bully his way through because he's got a huge stack. Now with the shield up, he has nothing to fear, and he's caught K1llsen out of the teleporter. He will be chasing this one down. He doesn't want to lose out on the heavy, so should be able to kill him before K1llsen doesn't get it. And that's bad news because Raisy can now get some health, get back to Mega, and K1llsen really shouldn't be trying to fight this.
No. Out comes, hang on. This is actually not that bad for K1llsen. He has got position on the Mega right now. I don't think he's got the timing. Breaks away and dies instead. Oh, that was a shame. If he had had timing, he should have just stayed there, grabbed it, and then made his way out.
And we're seeing the power of the Clutch now on this map. Yes, we were talking about how hard it is because you're in such close quarters, but at the same time, if you miss a shot as K1llsen, as you do now, look at Raisy. He can just push onto you. You can never get away.
Yep.
So it's just, moral of the story is, just don't let him take the champion.
Oh man, and his aim, Raisy is putting up a show. He's just showing us everything that he's got and proving again that he's a force to be reckoned with. He says, I am here and I'm determined to make my mark on this tournament. The movement too, beautiful to witness.
Yeah, it's a masterpiece, like K1llsen.
One of the things I also feel about this matchup actually is that K1llsen's champion is so bad for denying hourglasses.
True.
Because Berserk...
Oh, ring out as well.
because Berserk is almost never used
Good point.
consistently. And so by doing that, Raisy basically has all the hourglasses to himself, and he can consistently pick them up and keep his shield up. I feel like if K1llsen had picked a champion that he could have used to deny these hourglasses, he would be in such a better shape.
Saying that, the shield hasn't played a fundamental part of the victory.
That's true.
It's been the overall stack, the movement speed more than anything. K1llsen's tried to use his rail tact, and yes, he's hitting 2 or 3 rails back to back, but by the time he's done that, he's dead because Raisy's able to get on top of him. It's not like a Blood Run or a Ruins where you have such wide distances between you where you can play around the clutch. As soon as you hit a rail on this, look at the size of this space. It takes one dash and Raisy's in your face. You can't afford to be using the rail against him if he's not weak.
And K1llsen is just, he's melting in front of our very eyes. Raisy is just absolutely taking apart the #1 ranked player in EU, and he's making it look like it's easy. He's 10 frags ahead on Awoken, and K1llsen is just unable to do a single thing.
I mean, this is a map you put behind you and go, yep, I now see why people ban this champion against Raisy.
Yeah, that's the very true. And Raisy is just a powerhouse on the robot.
It might be ringed out again, but no, he gets away. And you can see the internal challenge of K1llsen as he's tried to change strategy 2-3 times, and there's nothing he can do to find that's been working.
Hot damn, the flicks. That's the kind of stuff you expect to see only from like Vanguard, but Raisy, he's showing he doesn't have only the aim, but he's also got the brain to rival it. What a tremendous player we're watching right now.
20-6 against, as you say, the #1 ranked player in Europe, and many people's favorite for being the champion here.
Yeah.
What can you say?
And like, Dan, these are the semifinals of a major LAN. 20-6 in the semis. What is this?
It looked like a practice game.
It basically did. It looked like K1llsen was trying out an unconventional champion pick on some map.
That opening frag was incredible, and it just set the tone and the tempo for the entire game. Like, you can see here, K1llsen, he went in with the rockets and thought, maybe this will work. That didn't work. Then he comes in with the lightning gun later and goes, maybe this will work. That didn't work. Then he backs up to the rail and thinks, maybe this will work. That didn't work. Suddenly it's game over. Like, there's nothing. He tried 3 or 4 different ways to try and kill Raisy, and pretty much the only time he ever did kill Raisy was when Raisy made a mistake.
Yep. And Raisy was always very quick to deny him full control, right? There were only 1 or 2 situations where K1llsen got a frag without taking substantial amounts of damage in return. And so Raisy denied K1llsen to ever have full control of the map or the items.
You could see even Raisy at points was not struggling, but finding it difficult to move through the map as cleanly as he wants to.
Yeah.
But even in spite of that, because it is such a close map, very similar to Corrupted Keep, where Clutch was insanely powerful back in previous editions, this is why it's such a powerful champion. You can close your opponent down, you're insanely quick, and then if you need to use it, you got the shield, but it wasn't particularly effective in this game.
Yeah, no, it just helped him in quite a few situations. Look at that shot.
That was amazing.
Goodness, Raisy, 0 hesitation, pure confidence.
65% rail, and he was the clutch.
What? That's like, you expect that against the clutch, not as the clutch against the Doom.
Exactly. I mean, K1llsen's rail would have been high. I don't think it'd been 65.
No.
And he was the guy playing as the big fridge. But nevertheless, I think that's just one of those situations where, yes, it was demoralizing, but you have to understand it was more the matchup than you and your style and your ineffectiveness. You would have felt helpless, but just ban the clutch. Put that behind you. Yes, you're 1 map down. Let it go. Let's try it again.
Yeah, very often you end with a map and you're like, okay, this player needs to change this going forward.
But
there's absolutely nothing you can say about that. K1llsen just needs to keep playing the game that he knows works well.
But at the same time, I'm a little bit worried for K1llsen, because we said at the start, the one time K1llsen struggles is when the pressure is put on him and he wasn't able to deal with Raisy's pace of the game or even his aim.
Yeah.
So this is another map where Raisy can, and he's using Strong, pick up the pace. So if he does that well, there's no reason why he won't see another big scoreline.
Yep, and an instant peeker. 75 damage coming out rather quickly, takes a bad amount of LG damage right there, but retaliates in turn, K1llsen not too stacked himself, and it's actually Raisy who gets the stack back first.
Exactly, Raisy, yes, he took a lot of damage, but he had the better positioning because he could fall back on armor and health, whereas K1llsen couldn't, and Raisy's just going to chase him down here. Should be a relatively easy frag. K1llsen's rockets are adequate, but not good enough. Raisy cleans him up, able to pick up the armor, and is back on top.
Raisy's game sense is
Should be using the Pika here. as you spoke about, I think a few maps ago, the reason Pika's so strong here is because you don't have that instant ability of the rail to get rid of it. And already we've seen 2 very effective Pikas.
And I have to say, like, I was talking to some people behind the scenes earlier, and we basically all agreed Raisy has some of the best game sense and raw Quake intelligence of anyone in the league. The fact that he still knew that the turret was there, then I can guarantee you so many players would have forgotten, but he still knew from that very first engagement that K1llsen threw something to the right. Even if he didn't see it, he heard it, and so he knew it was waiting.
He's just so emotionless in the way he plays. He's calculated and calm, and this is what we spoke about last time we watched Raisy. Is everything, he just seems to have more time than other players.
Yeah.
He goes into situations and he just stops and thinks about it while other players are kind of going through the motions. So everything he does feels individual and unique. He never has a pattern or a routine. It's just all thought out based on each individual situation.
The man's a Quake prodigy. I don't think there's anything less that you can say about him.
He's going up against someone who's got more titles than him, so this is his chance to set that right.
I think a lot of people are hoping to see Raisy just take home another belt. Or another trophy. First place, I should say, because he haven't had the opportunity to hold the belt yet, but still, maybe today's the day. K1llsen completely unaware that Raisy was there. I think he was expecting Raisy to be more...
Oh, that's a good rocket.
Yeah.
Drop down, but he's getting massively out-aimed, but he does pick up the armor just in time. Raisy potentially overcommitting there, but that rocket did work off the bat.
And I love the third placement too, just throwing it behind Raisy. Raisy caught in between the LG from K1llsen and the third in the back, but instantly going down again. Excellent push from Raisy, and he might find another one off the spawn. K1llsen tried his best, but Raisy just maneuvered himself expertly right in front of his face.
So painful. 2 frags back to back, and not even a lick of damage from K1llsen. He has stolen away the armor, but he's going to take... Oh, luckily the shotgun actually did take the Pika out. Didn't expect that one.
Yep. Doesn't always happen. LG is looking solid. Raisy still in the lead. 2 frags up over K1llsen.
Saw that lower positioning against Avik earlier in the day. Really effective.
Oh yeah.
K1llsen super early though. He's going to take a lot of damage here. He does get the shotgun to the face, but he's still early. Does manage to just sneak it before Raisy does enough damage.
Half a second later and he would have been dead.
Exactly. K1llsen definitely needs to clean up his timing. We saw this earlier against Tox. Plenty of mistakes. You can't afford to make them on this level.
No, if you go up against players the likes of Raisy or Rafa even maybe later, then you know you have to play an essentially flawless game. K1llsen so far dropping the ball a little bit here.
Once again, he's so early for this item. Yes, he didn't really need to drop that early. Luckily, so far the rockets haven't done enough damage and Raisy's out of rockets. That's the saving grace for K1llsen. He can get away, but not in time to get that heavy. So Raisy decides to sweep back, pick up everything he needs, and try and deal some extra damage.
Yep, good rocket's gonna stop him dead in his tracks. Looping back around, Mega will be the first item to spawn, even though it's K1llsen who's been securing the major items. Raisy has been really dishing out the damage and keeping the stacks basically identical. And now Raisy's got the better positioning. He's there early, but he's so far managing to dodge a lot of rocket fire. The final ones he won't be able to dodge. It's getting nasty, and down he goes. K1llsen getting a little closer to tying things up.
Yeah, Raisy loves that tactic of standing down there, but this time K1llsen was ready for it and hit some amazing rockets from above, whereas Raisy's usually the one to dodge them out. So it's a high-risk play from Raisy, but that's just his playstyle.
Yeah.
He's in the lava there, he's definitely going to go down here. And K1llsen managed to tie it up after being under a lot of pressure for the first 2 or 3 minutes.
K1llsen just waiting for the suicide right there. He's like, okay, you're in the lava, you've got nothing left. I'm just gonna let you die. And I'm gonna watch and I'm gonna enjoy it. And right now, K1llsen, timing looking good right there. He's got a perfect rotation going on. Raisy just waiting with the super shotgun, doing a lot of damage. K1llsen taken by surprise. Heavy goes to Raisy. K1llsen realizes he has to get out. He doesn't want to stick around right there.
Saw from K1llsen's pod, again, how Raisy just makes these moves that seem so simple, but K1llsen was caught hugely off guard. Raisy just appears from a corner and does 200 damage.
Oh!
Like, every single time he's just catching people of K1llsen's caliber off guard.
That rocket, K1llsen absolutely appalled by it, had no clue it was coming, and that is such a ballsy play. Raisy going up the bounce, but against K1llsen that he knows is waiting there with LG out, and he's just like, you know what, I'm gonna land a rocket, and it's gonna be a perfect one. You're gonna die. And now Raisy setting up a nice rotation again. Good block of the rocket right there. K1llsen using the turret. to keep himself relatively healthy. Out comes the Peaker, good amount of damage.
You can see how k1llsen's beginning to struggle a little bit now. As soon as Raisy has control, he's pushing in, and k1llsen hasn't really got an answer, whereas when it felt like k1llsen was pushing into Raisy, Raisy was always doing at least an equal amount of damage in return. So k1llsen needs to try and work on that positioning to make sure when Raisy is pushing, he's getting the first and opening rocket every single time.
Heavy will be going to the German though. This might be the start of a comeback. Raisy no longer in firm control. Does have the better stack for the time being. Mega is gonna be up in a few seconds. He's making his way over there. k1llsen's already waiting though. The defensive rocket's raining down. Oh, the Peaker is gonna hit the ceiling. That wasn't worth it. Almost knocking k1llsen off the LG.
What?
Whoa, that was 100% tracking down there. k1llsen. It was a decent drop, right? It wasn't that bad of an idea.
Most players would have got out of there, at least with half of that stack. But somehow Raisy here, as you said, every single cell.
Yep. Nasty. I can't come up with another name to call it. That was just amazing. k1llsen again pushed in the corner. He wanted to make his way into the big room, but Raisy's LG just too powerful. Knocked him against that tiny little doorway edge right there and got him stuck in place.
Yep, Raisy's now got good control, but that rocket's nice. k1llsen needs to do more of that. Needs to try and keep Raisy's stack at bay as much as he can. But Raisy's just catching him off guard in all too many situations, and the weapon choice hasn't been great from k1llsen either.
What I feel like k1llsen might be missing is the CES damage. Yeah, we have seen very little heavy machine gun being used this map.
That's what I mean. He needs to just try and keep Raisy at bay a little bit more, because every one of these fights is being taken in close quarters, and that's in Raisy's favor.
Exactly. k1llsen needs to go for those longer distance fights where he can use the heavy machine gun to land and stack up those 15 damage a pop over time, and then when the time's right, move in for an item. Now,
that's
too eager.
What you need to do.
No.
That for me is an indication of k1llsen now losing a little bit cool, but also a little bit, he's running out of ideas. Because that was never going to work out. The best it would have been was stolen away. Good timing by Raisy, dropping onto it. k1llsen trying to do damage because it is only 2 minutes remaining, so he needs to take more and more risks, but when those risks don't work out, your win probability reduces even more.
Oh, and there we go.
The Peaker.
Very nice. You don't see the Peaker actually getting the kill very often. Raisy giving us a treat to enjoy right there, and right now with 2 minutes left, I mean 7 frags on a map like Corrupted Keep, it's possible. In theory it's possible, but is it realistic, Dan?
I don't think so. Every frag, every attempt k1llsen get is always, again, can't even get an item. Everything is hard work. Raisy never gives you an inch most of the time, and yeah, I don't think this one's going to happen for k1llsen, I'm afraid.
No, Raisy even pulling out the gauntlet and just going up to the corpse being like, hey, who's the boss? Say it, I am, and you know it. But still.
And this is what normally, for k1llsen, like, he's not used to this. Because when he plays online, when he plays on practice, he's never the one that feels helpless. He's always the one dominating his opponent. So it is such an unusual position for k1llsen to be in, and you can see,
I love how Raisy is just like, you want to play?
Yeah.
You want to go, mate? Fine, we'll go. Gauntlet versus gauntlet, I don't need anything else. Yeah, but I just want to give a huge shout out to Raisy's LG aim. Oh my god, this is some of the best lightning gun we've seen all tournament, Dan. This has been better than Tox. This has been better than some of the absolute best aimers in the business.
Well, I think this is what he was known for when he came out. I remember this map against Tox. He absolutely destroyed him, had 50 plus LG, and everyone was like, this kid's cheating. And no, he wasn't. He's come on since then, and because his whole game now is so round, and we talk about his strategy, his weapon choice, his fight choice, his decision making, we forget how amazing his fundamental mechanics are.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, this is... Raisy is just looking absurd right now.
Like, look at this. If we add up the two maps now, it's what, 37-6 scoreline against k1llsen? 38-6 roughly, something around that region.
My god, this is so one-sided. I don't think anyone was expecting this to go the way it has been. Raisy looking cold-faced as ever. That's the face of a killer.
100%. Yeah, I mean, Tox we know is the Terminator, but this guy truly is robotic.
Yeah.
And k1llsen needs to find a way, and I can't provide any guidance, I'm afraid, on how do you cope with the pressure coming out from Raisy. He's tried everything in the book. k1llsen's used to being the person who dictates fights, used to being the person who takes the upper hand, and out aiming his opponents. But Raisy is doing that and more.
from what I've seen, there's not a single person in the tournament still that can out-aim Raisy.
No.
Like right now, this is the definitive aim in Quake right now.
And it's not just aim, it's
Everything.
It's everything. And the way he takes fights, and that's the most impressive thing, it's the way he takes fights. If you look at all these frags, in some way, shape or form, Raisy's entered with the upper hand, taken better position, forced his opponent into a fight he doesn't want to take.
Yeah, there's some peeker kills as well. That's always nice to see. But what do you do when you're K1llsen right now? Is that SX? Like, how do you approach the next map?
I think he needs to try and slow the pace down.
Yeah.
I forget what the next map actually is, but Wave now is bound to be a rail on it, and I think he needs to try and draw Raisy into a long-range game. Like we've had 2 maps of high-pressure combat where that's Raisy's forte. Yes, Raisy has a rounded game, as we saw earlier when he played Molten against, I think it was Avec, and it was super slow, and Raisy's comfortable, but those wins aren't as dominating. You need to get him away from that close combat and just try and draw him out into the open a bit more. If he can do that, and he can keep the scoreline slim, you never know.
Yeah. Absolutely, and Raisy, I mean, we've been talking about Rafa a lot today, saying how amazing the American looks moving forward. If anyone can challenge him, it's Raisy.
Well, like we said earlier in the show, I think Raisy's already showed the highest skill potential we've seen out of the tournament. He's been the most consistent, the most dominating. When you look at anyone, I think Rafa's last games were the only thing to compare to that.
Yeah.
He just controls the game. He controls his opponents, and he's looked untouchable.
And K1llsen, I mean, you can tell he's racking his brain. He's trying to figure out, what do I do going from here? What can I change? Do I need to pump up the aggression even more? Do I need to slow it down? What is the weakness? The gap in Raisy's seemingly perfect presence on the map.
It's, well, he's the guy that's going to have to answer that, not me.
No, I wasn't expecting.
No, I know. I don't know what to say. Like, it's a new situation. It's very rare. We've been in a period of Quake where you look at a match and say, well, these things went wrong. This is what you can change. Like I said, every situation Raisy went into with K1llsen, he won.
100% shotgun accuracy.
46% lightning gun.
And against an K1llsen, not the easiest champion to hit either. That just shows how absolutely powerful Raisy can be with that gun. Next map, I believe, is actually Blood Run.
Good map. I think that's the one opportunity, well, it has to be the opportunity now for K1llsen to get back into the game. He needs to slow that pace down. He needs to try and frustrate Raisy out into the open, you know? I don't think he needs to engage Raisy. He can't get sucked into that brawl. Keep him at bay. Raisy's playing the Nyx, which is good. Yes, you're playing the range, but try and just keep Raisy at bay. Try and get into some of these rail fights and see how that goes for you, because at the minute, nothing else has been working.
Yeah, the first few minutes of this map are absolutely, in my opinion, going to decide how this goes. Raisy, we're going to see how he approaches the Nyx. Is he going to hang on to it to get away, or is he just going to go aggressive the way it's been working out for him? Very quick on the reaction, doesn't want to wait until he takes the damage, and we've talked about this before. Too many players, we think, hang on to that Ghost Walk a little too long and then wait until after they started taking damage, but Raisy very quick on popping it.
No, K1llsen did that as well.
Yep.
Raisy obviously uses it aggressively more than most players.
Still, Raisy now set up towards the top of the map. He's looking, maybe is he there? He isn't. Mega will be the first item to spawn. Raisy now setting up down below, trying to get a bit of a trap going. He's got a small stack advantage over K1llsen, but it's more or less tight.
K1llsen's not even going to show. He knows this is Raisy, wants to fight down there, so K1llsen's just going to go up early, set up for the heavy armor, and Raisy traps him with the Ghost Walk. K1llsen does a lot of damage as well, but that rail means that K1llsen cannot push in. They're both going to set back and reset.
Yeah, I actually think that Raisy realized the moment he got behind K1llsen and he turned around with the rockets that he was actually in a bad position. He can still take a rail.
You can see what Raisy's trying to do here. We said that K1llsen struggles with Raisy's pace, and that's what he's trying to keep up, because K1llsen, rightly so now, wants to keep it slow. So that's the one thing we suggested he's trying to do.
Yep. So far, he seems to be listening well to our advice. Both major items are up, and it looks like it will be K1llsen, the German, who will be able to collect both of them, putting a little bit of a delay before picking up the Mega so that he'll have an easier time repeating the cycle in the future. And Raisy, I mean, everyone knows Raisy is completely comfortable playing a very slow and defensive game if he needs to. Good read from K1llsen. The rockets, can he make it happen? He does, but not without taking a whole lot of damage. Raisy might be able to actually put himself on a major item first. Here we go, Raisy dropping down. That's a bad fight to take. Oh, K1llsen! There's some disrespect, some BM coming out right there. I mean, he was like...
missed the rail. He's in a lot of trouble here because that super shotgun can just kill you outright. If Raisy hits it, but he doesn't, then K1llsen, he's mad.
Oh, wow. This is something I've never seen out of K1llsen before. So there's like, you said yourself, back in your day, you used to be a pretty
I would have done
emotional player too.
I would have done that.
Yeah.
And then just quit in the lead. Done. I win.
Just showing them what's up. K1llsen right now 3-0 in the lead.
Ghost Walk has come up from Raisy here. I don't think K1llsen realizes at a good rail, but he does get hit onto that mega.
Oh no!
Raisy misses the heavy. K1llsen has to be careful. And he gets...
He actually gives it up still.
Oh, that's so risky by K1llsen. Like, I understand why, but he should have just backed off. He had the rail. I don't think Raisy did.
I mean, Raisy had the rail, K1llsen had the shotty. So K1llsen was hoping to land the shotgun bolt to finish it off, but Raisy was just a little quicker on the trigger as he landed the shot and finished it off. And now Raisy starting to mount a comeback. K1llsen, are we gonna see some more teabagging then?
Yes, 100%.
I do think
From
so
both
too.
sides.
Raisy using that Ghost Walk again. We're seeing a lot of aggressive Ghost Walks. K1llsen getting caught by surprise. The LG looking good. K1llsen still up there. Stole away the heavy.
Stole away potentially both items. He's on the low ground. Raisy might be able to contest, but the only thing he'll be able to do is deal a little bit of damage. So again, unconventional position there from Raisy. Just one of those things. He just thinks about the game in a different way to other players.
I feel like we could see a sliver of Rangers back. That's enough for Raisy. LG on LG.
That's a bad start from Raisy.
Yeah.
He has to get out of there. He's been spotted though, and easy kill from K1llsen as he just... Okay, you just gave up heavy armor just to teabag. That's fine. I guess that's fine.
I mean, it is part of the psychological warfare process, right?
I don't think Raisy cares. You can see how much those first two maps have got to K1llsen. Like that heavy armor miss could have actually counted. Raisy unfortunately didn't be able to capitalize on it, but this is just a tilt to K1llsen's quite rare. The Germans normally pretty strong.
Oh yeah, and he takes it for what it is, right? He just sees it as, you know, this is just a match.
Yeah.
There's nothing more to it than that. If he loses, he's gonna be a bit upset, but he's really casual and he can put it into perspective very easily. But right now, oh, actually getting the read again.
It was the wrong way though.
It was the wrong way, yeah.
The wrong way. Second guessing himself there.
Yep. He had it right the first time. And now Raisy stole away the heavy. Halfway through the map right now, 5 minutes left. K1llsen's got a comfortable read for a map like Blood Run, right? He's got the orb so he can run away if he needs to, but he is always going to be on his toes because Raisy has shown he's not afraid to use the Ghost Walk aggressively.
No, not at all. So K1llsen definitely needs to be careful. The pace has begun to slow a little bit. Pressure's obviously on Raisy here. But with that Ghost Walk, he uses it in rather aggressive, unusual ways. K1llsen is able to steal both, forces out the Ghost Walk, but Raisy's going push in. That's unexpected, and K1llsen is caught completely by surprise. Can he get out of there? If he gets this light armor, he's going to be okay, and Raisy plus backs.
I love that orb. That was so good.
Yeah.
Jumping towards Heavy, throwing the orb towards Mega, grabbing the item and instantly just zooming past Raisy to steal both of them, even though he's blocking your path to one.
Yes, we've seen K1llsen pick Ranger and this on Blood Run every single time, and he does it in the same way. They bounce Raisy up. He's not being able to kill him. Is Raisy going to risk jumping across? I don't think he can, because 5 frags then would be a big challenge to try and win the game.
Yeah.
Raisy appears behind him and he doesn't get it, so K1llsen's going to push in as well. Hits a good rocket, but unfortunately falls off, which means Raisy can pick up the remaining health in the area.
Stacks are pretty similar. K1llsen's got a slight advantage with the Mega to his name. Raisy's got a little bit more armor. Next item will be the Mega health. K1llsen wants to do some more hunting beforehand, but in doing so, he's actually going to give up positioning onto it. This looks like it might be Raisy picking up the Mega. Is he still down there? It's kind of hard to tell. Yeah, Raisy will pick up the Mega. K1llsen unable to do much damage.
Bit of missed timing, I think, from K1llsen as he found. Looked like he was a bit surprised by hearing that Mega pickup.
Loving the rocket jump to get off the little pedestal up there to avoid getting pinned up with LG. We've seen that a few times this tournament. Beautiful LGs in that exact location. K1llsen's going to avoid that happening to him. And now Raisy trying to gatekeep the path up to Mega. Is he going to orb through it? Oh, very good read from Raisy, expecting K1llsen to be up there looking down to the grate.
If he just clipped that top ledge, and Raisy might have heard it. So if that was the case, pretty unfortunate from K1llsen, because it was a good trap. Nevertheless, now it's about biding time.
Yep.
Grinding the clock down. And K1llsen, we saw earlier today, can be incredibly frustrating when he wants to play completely hidden, particularly if his aim is on, which it's been so far, but he has played the range game, as we suggested, is the way back into this series. Doesn't need to be a second round, he's eaten 2 rails now.
Should have left at the first one.
Yeah, for sure.
Tribolt, it can be extremely useful, but you need to have the exact right range and time. It's very situational. Raisy taking a bad rocket there, though. And that's going to give K1llsen some confidence. Instead of just keeping up with the planned trajectory, he's going to loop back around, see Raisy.
Raisy knows what is going on, and he still has the Ghost Walk. He's got a good stack to work with. There's lots of time between the items, and now K1llsen's in a lot of trouble. He needs to try and orb out, and he orbs up, because that's the only way Raisy can't go, except like that. And he does it well. Now both items are up now. Big 2 minutes from K1llsen. Raisy's going to be stacked to the teeth, and K1llsen won't want to show himself. And that's been his downfall, because Raisy will just push.
That mid-air could have changed it all. Raisy going right for him. Exactly. That would have been a hit. It would have been GG.
The execution. It could have been hit. It wasn't a hard one.
Nope. That would have been GG for K1llsen. 100%. But instead it's Raisy once again in control of the items, running the rotation. K1llsen jumping a little far out into the room.
A lot of trouble here. He's got no orb. The Ghost Walk's going to be up at the same time as the orb. That's a perfect rail. All he needs to do is shotgun, machine gun, anything.
He orbed up.
Going to double back because he thinks K1llsen's gone. And K1llsen is playing Brave, and Brave will work.
Bit of a mistime, I think, from Raisy.
A little bit. He used that Ghost Walk a second too early.
If he had waited a little longer, he would have been in a much better shape, and he would have been able to get the stack and then chase after K1llsen instead of being the one on the back foot having to get out.
He's got nothing to work with. It's going to be such a tough ask, but you can get a back-to-back spawn frag on this map if you do it well. So he just needs 1 kill and pray that he can push the frag after that. This is all he needs.
Right below him, I think, waiting at the blood pool. Yep, went up the teleporter.
He's got the Ghost Walk. He might just use it off the bat if he thinks he knows where K1llsen is, and he does. But K1llsen definitely will anticipate that. Great read by Raisy. Double shotgun to the face. Can he fall the frag?
He's trying to force a spawn.
He does.
K1llsen spawns below him. He's going to drop on him. K1llsen only has the railgun, and Raisy ties it right back up with 20 seconds left to go.
Another one. He knows where he is. Oh, but K1llsen's just quick enough, and he didn't. Oh, he doesn't have the orb.
Good decision from Raisy not to pursue that. Just leave it at that for now. Oh no, be careful of the tribal. This is the bad range. This is like the worst possible range.
Jeez. K1llsen knows how much damage he is. He's going to push in here. He definitely knows he's got him if he goes in.
What?
Somehow Raisy is...
This is right. Who gets it? K1llsen first.
Holy crap.
Oh my god. That was, I think, the closest one we've had the entire tournament, really.
That's the closest game I've ever seen. I've never seen a mutual frag in overtime.
Oh my god, Raisy. If that would have been half a second longer, he would have had the Ghost Walk, and he would have been able to get out of that one still.
Yeah. I mean, K1llsen played, he did exactly what we said he needed to do. Slowed down the pace, he forced the longer range fights, and that steadied the ship a little bit. When Raisy got back into it, you see what can happen when Raisy picks up the tempo. K1llsen, for me, I never like going off the map that early. As soon as you let Raisy have free reign, you can see he's just going to push it. Raisy likes to push anyway, but when you give him a full stack, he's going to do it every day, night and day, and K1llsen began to struggle. So that last kind of 30 seconds when K1llsen made a couple of more aggressive, more confident moves, that balanced the ship. This rocket was bad.
K1llsen.
A couple of good reads by Raisy.
Raisy brought the pain in that final engagement, though, because look at the replay. Raisy's got...
Missed the health!
Raisy's got 8 points of health. Yeah, he missed the health.
That's what... How did he get away with, like, no... He missed that... That health would have won him the game.
Raisy! If you had picked up that one bubble, he is going to...
Look at this.
Regret that.
K1llsen's 27% rail. It's you can see, he's got 2 rails. I'm not sure why he's got 2 rails in there. That's the pressure from Raisy, and that forcing K1llsen to take these really difficult angles. But it's also K1llsen, he's just rattled. Like, you could see him, he's just not rattled. He's not playing his same game. So
it's for when you play BJ, you have 2 railguns. Accuracy for the left and the right one, but
either way, it was a low percentage.
It was a pretty low percentage. Yeah, difficult target to hit, of course. Next, Raisy playing very slippery. K1llsen still has a chance of staying in the upper bracket and facing Rafa in the finals.
K1llsen? Yeah, small chance.
He has a small chance, yeah. He needs to win the next 2 maps back-to-back.
Even though he won that, like we said, that was his best chance. I mean, this is where we said the fun begins, because you've got a Slash versus Athena, 2 champions. We haven't really seen a lot from these players, but always can do some crazy stuff. And I'm fearful now, because I think you need to play an aggressive pace with Athena to maximize her skills, and Raisy has the opportunity in Slash to really bring the pace. And we saw it in map 1 and map 2 that K1llsen cannot deal with that. So
he struggles.
You need to play it in a similar way to the Knicks. Use those grapples defensively to get out. It's going to be really tough for K1llsen. I don't feel confident.
Yep, and that note brings us into the 4th map. Raisy needs only 1 more, whereas K1llsen needs to win all of the remaining ones. We're starting things off on K1llsen's point of view, playing as the Athena. I wonder, are we going to see more of the BM come out? Some more teabags here and there? Or ZSX is confident that the bad blood is still there.
The only reason I'm watching.
K1llsen picking up the LG. He's got all the weapons he needs right now. Raisy probably managing to do the same.
Yeah, and I believe the tempo and the play style is going to be exactly the same to Blood Run. K1llsen playing around these corner areas, forcing fight in choke points. He doesn't want to engage Raisy out in the open. Like, that's just not worked. Try to play the range game, stick to your corners, stick to your choke points, and use those grapples to get out.
Yep, and he's right to do so as well, because it's clearly one of the only things that can work against a player like Raisy. 0-0, both playing a bit of a passive game. Raisy, of course, we know that he likes the slower, more defensive games. He's a very strategic player. He's got 0 issues, running for minutes and minutes, waiting for the perfect opportunity. And this might be one of those matches. Both players seeing each other, rockets being exchanged, no damage being done. Raisy going right up. K1llsen so far in control of the major items. It's a race for the Mega. That will be Raisy first.
Good use of the grapples though.
Yeah.
Realizing that the backside by the jump pad's the quickest way out using that skill.
Yep, it is of course a very important mobility skill that K1llsen has. Works well on a variety of maps. This isn't the kind of map that you typically see Athena on, because yeah, you can hook from the bottom to the top, but it's such a long way up that you're making yourself a very easy target if your opponent's anywhere near you. So obviously he's gotta be careful with when he uses it.
Tiny bit slow from Raisy there to put any pressure on as we keep trading major items. Both realizing the importance of the first frag on Molten, because we often see low scoring games here. It's a very easy map to play keep away.
Bit of a delay between the 2 major items, and we've got 2 very fast champions that should be able to secure both, but of course that requires them to get the upper hand when it comes to controlling the damage. K1llsen landing the first rocket once again, missing. Yeah, missing the grapple hook. Wanted to get there first, but it looks like Raisy will once again secure the item. K1llsen just waiting there. Where's Raisy gone? Where's Raisy? Raisy's below him. Rails missing from both players though. And now Raisy again setting up in that same spot. He keeps trying the same maneuver, setting up near shotgun as K1llsen moves in from below. But hang on, what is this? K1llsen got very much out of position for no apparent reason. He's just going to completely voluntarily surrender the heavy.
Well, yeah, Raisy spotted him on the mid ground and took high ground. So any option to go in would be through that side route, and yeah, it was obviously very predictable. As you said, Raisy setting up there. K1llsen realizing he'd missed out on the positional war already and just sacrifices the heavy armor in preference of the mega health.
Yeah, very clever play from Raisy to get himself there first, and now he's got the rotation he wants to, and that's exactly one of the things that makes this game so great, you know. These small changes in positional advantage and out-strategizing your opponent can have such long-lasting consequences. Rails again being exchanged, K1llsen doing everything he can to keep Raisy stacked down as the other player is in full control, but the rockets from Raisy are good. The flyby coming out.
Yeah, you can see how frustrated K1llsen was there, realizing how important it was. It was a fight he could have won because he had the positional advantage. Just the speed of Raisy meant that the first rocket wasn't as clean as K1llsen needed it to be, and now he's going to find it very tough because Raisy doesn't really make many mistakes from here on in, and he's over to the Mega with a good split, but he's bounced off by the lightning gun, and K1llsen does manage to get away with some semi-decent damage. Raisy needs to reset. He loves the high ground up over by that jump pad at the heavy, but instead decides to set a trap, rather unusual trap, listening out for what K1llsen wants to do here.
Yeah, he knows he's outstacked. K1llsen doesn't have the armor that he'd like. Is he waiting for heavy? Oh, there he hears his opponent. Raisy dropping straight back down. This is risky, going on the bounce, but takes a bad rail. Yep, very good play from K1llsen right there. Raisy now making do with what he's got. He's gonna hear his opponent, so he knows he's in the clear. He knows he can pick this up safely because he had the audio clue.
Yeah, I think it's a mistake by K1llsen. I definitely think he'd have pressured that, and this fight isn't good because the opening rocket is bad. That one's better. Raisy's in the corner. Can he get out? Somehow he can for now. K1llsen's got to be careful. He's not that stacked either. One bad rocket might be enough.
Well, went for the shotgun instead. Rocket was the only thing that could save Raisy there. But K1llsen, the German player, will tie things right back up, 1-1, halfway through the map. Looks like things are speeding up a bit though. Raisy coming up the bounce pad, relentless and fearless, taking down K1llsen.
Yeah, this is the problem. As soon as K1llsen's low, Raisy has the pace to get on top of him. This is why I was a bit fearful for Athena versus the Slash, because yes, you have the grapple, but you're very vulnerable, and the Slash can catch you. And now Raisy's got momentum, he's picking up the pace. That's a perfect rocket, and why is K1llsen doing that?
K1llsen too aggro, man. Just too aggressive in this situation. He wants to punish Raisy badly, but it's gone! This map, how many deaths has this map claimed like that?
The gauntlet out as well. Justice is served for K1llsen.
Is that a bit of karma?
A little bit. I was hoping to get the teabag into the void just to kind of settle the score. But
well, that would have been something. All right.
Oh, what a rocket. 2 rockets. Can he finish him off? Raisy's high. A little bit too high. But he's on 1 health.
Literally 1 point of health right there. Now K1llsen, 4 minutes left for 2 frags. That's definitely possible.
Got to be careful. With only 1 grapple left, that's a perfect rocket though. If he missed that rocket, it would have been game over for K1llsen. But again,
yeah,
calculated risk.
Raisy's showing up a little too early for the item spawn. That could have gone very differently if he had managed to secure himself the Mega. Fortunately,
he will secure himself the heavy. K1llsen might just have time to get over and deal a bit of damage. But Raisy's already used his ability. Can he get in cleanly? So far, no rocket damage. Still none. There's a good one. But Raisy's doing a lot of spam damage with the lightning gun, and K1llsen's this time forced to retreat. 3 seconds to go. Raisy has plenty of time to set up, and he's gonna also catch K1llsen, but the switch to the rail wasn't good enough.
Yeah, that definitely wasn't the fight in K1llsen's favor. Oh,
the rocket!
He needs more than that, though.
Why is he run out of ammo?
What is he doing?
He ran out of ammo.
He tried to switch to LG, ran out of ammo, switched back to rail.
And then switched to the machine gun. He's too early. K1llsen's realized it, and that's great aggression. Perfect timing from K1llsen. Finally, we're seeing that fluidity come back into his play, realizing he needs to keep up the tempo as and when he can, because there's fewer and far opportunities to make it happen like that. Oh, he should have railed him there, but nevertheless, Raisy managed to get away. Can he stop him from getting these time bars, which he can? It's a good rail. They do trade. And this time K1llsen learns his lesson and gets out.
I understand the push there though, because Raisy definitely didn't have all the weapons just yet.
100%.
So clearly he wanted to go in and try to do some damage, but yeah.
He hoped to get in before he got the rail, but obviously the speed of Slash is slightly too fast for K1llsen in this aspect. He's caught Raisy this time on the jump, but somehow nothing hits him. The speed, once again, just coming into play, and K1llsen's aim was completely off.
Yeah, K1llsen, of course, wanted to kill that momentum by just slamming that LG into his opponent's face, but unfortunately for him, the speed was just a little bit too much, and Raisy flew right by him.
This is the problem. Like, K1llsen not doing well under the speed. It was the perfect position and the right choice, but just when you don't execute, what can you do? I think he wants to go up and just shotgun him in the face, and he does. Now he missed. Just waiting for K1llsen to miss, and K1llsen, yeah, with 2 minutes to go, that's tough, real tough. I understand it, but he has caught him here with the rocket, but Raisy gets out relatively cleanly, and he's done enough. He might try to hit an exit rail, and he does.
Yeah. That's so important, because that kills a lot of K1llsen's opportunity to come back into this. Hang on, K1llsen gets the perfect read. That was an amazing play from K1llsen.
I imagine he used a couple of grapples. Yeah, he used all 3 grapples to make that happen.
There was no way that he could have gone there that fast otherwise. I don't think a single champion could have made it that fast.
No.
Raisy just wasn't ready for it. A minute for 2 frags, absolutely possible. We've seen it several times in the past, but K1llsen, this is crunch time.
Okay, Raisy, we can see he's already standing up around the side corridor. Plenty of exits. You can take fights on your terms, but K1llsen's caught him over by the rail. Raisy's lightning gun is good, and he has the ability to get out of there quickly, back into the corridor. K1llsen just doesn't want to push through. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
He's pretty good at forcing spawn frags, although on this map it is hard to get back-to-back frags.
But then again, he does have the Athena, so he can get there quickly. Raisy.
Raisy's hiding on the outside.
What?
How is that a thing?
No! No!
Oh my god.
What?
He's been found! And he's off!
Somehow, K1llsen found him, shaking his head like, boy, that is not gonna work on me.
30 seconds to go, less than. Raisy has nothing, K1llsen has everything. Can he make it count?
Raisy does.
Is he gonna have the balls to do that twice? No, he hasn't, but he's hiding on the low ground. He's down by the jump pad. I think K1llsen knows where he is. He's heard him. And he's somehow died.
That was 3 points of health. 3 points of health. And Raisy is going to move on ahead into the winner bracket finals against the so far insurmountable Rafa. What a game, what a match. So many close calls.
I mean, my girlfriend gives me grey hair, but watching these two players give me exponentially amount more. That was absolutely incredible.
Yeah, that was one of the most interesting and close matchups that we've seen so far. But before we take a deeper look at the analysis, we're going to throw it to Jackie, who's standing next to Raisy.
Wow. What a performance. Firstly, these were some of the highest fragging games we've seen over the course of the entire tournament. Do you feel like you've now set the precedent that you can continue this throughout what's left?
It's always different against everyone, so Rafa is gonna be something else. We'll see what it's gonna be like, but I just felt comfortable playing the way I was.
Were you surprised as well? And how much was your heart physically beating when we got into sudden death and it went down to the trade frag? Were you really just taken back?
Well, honestly, I just found it funny, the way it ended that map. I wasn't that nervous at that ending. I messed up my movement. I missed one bubble that could have saved me there. But it is what it is.
All right, well, awesome stuff. Raisy, raising hell as per usual. Thank you so much. Still more to come in the tournament, but for now, let's head back on over to the desk.
I love how the question was, did that raise your heartbeat? Man, we're talking about Raisy right here. The man is as cool as can be. He probably had a heart rate of like, what, say 50?
I think, well, that's amazing, right? Because if I had won a match like that against K1llsen, I would have slammed my face through the desk, like physically. But he's just there, like, he even had the state of mind to know what he messed up in a microsecond that lost him the game.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't even really see it in the broadcast. We had to look at the slow-mo to say, oh, there, he missed the bubble. Where he completely realized what was going on. So that situational awareness is magnificent. Plus, he enjoys it. I think that comes through, right? He's so calm, he enjoys it. Like he said, he found it funny. Like, if you can have that state of mind to find something that would just drain most people and make them rage funny, that's why you can become a champion. It's just his emotional control, if he has emotions, are flawless.
Yeah, Raisy, absolutely a champion at heart. Now, let's see if he can make it happen against Rafa too.
I think he can. I'm feeling confident that no one manhandles K1llsen like that.
Yeah.
Not even Rafa.
No, absolutely not. That if Rafa would have played K1llsen, he probably could have done the same, but the frag differences would have been nowhere near as high.
Exactly. But at the same time, even playing field, like, this is some of the best Quake Rafa's been playing. Like, I keep saying, I think Rafa's aims come on leap and bounds. He admitted it on stage. He's surprising himself with his aim, at least in the previous series. He's gonna have to do that again, and I think that's the pressure for Rafa. He needs to be on point with every part of his game because Raisy doesn't seem to slip up at this point in time.
Well, let's of course not discredit K1llsen, right? He did go up against the God Slayer himself, so no easy feat. He tried his hardest, and it came down to the wire on some of these maps.
Yeah, and as you rightly say, right, he should have won Molten. I don't know how that final fight went in the way of Raisy. You could see the frustration from K1llsen. He's not at the tournament, but he should have won that, and the fact that he was able to reset from being manhandled twice in a row. A, clutch, forget that map. B, his own map pick. He lost 18-2, I think it was. Like, to do that and to come back, to have the state of mind to reset and play a slower paced game, which is what he needed to do, and then probably should have won Molten as well. Yes, he was fortunate to win Blood Run, but he should have won Molten. Full credit to him.
Yeah, the mental resilience that a player like him must possess, that is of course immense to perform at this level in the Pro League, and you need that experience that someone like K1llsen has to just make your way throughout the bracket and just keep upsetting everyone.
Yeah, it was great.
I want to touch on it. Obviously, we have spoken about K1llsen a little bit there, but the mentality. Do you feel like this could affect him a little bit? You could see some of the frustration, also some of the cheeky plays that were pulled out by Raisy. Feel like they could definitely anger you.
It can. I think playing against Raisy angers anyone. It's not just K1llsen. Like, the way he plays, it's so non-traditional. Being caught by surprise at the level of K1llsen and then being essentially, as we said, manhandled is frustrating. But the lack of respect in some aspects by Raisy also played into that. So we saw him reset and take it to 2 very close rounds. I think he's already cooled down.
Okay.
It's fine.
I also don't think that Raisy means it in any bad way.
Oh, he doesn't.
It's just
like,
his play
he gets the frag and he's like, all right, I'm
that's
happy.
it. He's just enjoying it, as we said. That's just Raisy.
He just goes from leaps and bounds of frag to frag. But let's move on now and have a look at the bracket and see how things have been developing. So obviously that's both our semi-finals concluded there, and we will now have the upper bracket final. Dan, Rafa versus Raisy, the battle of the R's. 2 incredible players. Just what are your initial thoughts?
I mean, they play so differently. You have Mr. Strategy, the Professor, the guy who thinks 3 steps ahead, against Raisy, who just thinks in the moment. He thinks about, what can I do that's different? What does my opponent expect me to do? And what should I be doing? Like, it's a very different perception on the way to play the game. And they're both entirely unique. I can see Rafa getting bullied. Sometimes he struggles against players with really strong aim in the past. I think he's overcome that a little bit. But ultimately, when they're on their day, there's very little to separate either one of them.
Oh yeah, and I also think we should take a closer look at the bottom half of this, or the bracket rather, because we're seeing that base knocked out Chain, his winning streak ended then and there, but then we're also seeing Chron going down 0-2 against Cygib, so NA definitely still in it with someone other than Rafa.
Even backtracking, right? I don't know if you spoke about it before, but Chron beating Avec, Cygib beating Tox. I would say they're both upsets.
Absolutely, we mentioned it
This
briefly.
tournament's been just full of the underdogs.
Yeah, we have had some miraculous results, some incredible games, and there is still so much more to come. We are nowhere near done here on Championship Sunday at the Stage 2 finals. Keep it locked here on twitch.tv/Quake, as there's more to come after the break.